Okay, welcome to State of the Game for July 12th, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Yes, people have been asking, are we doing maintenances twice a week from now on?
Yeah, it would sound like
It's
that,
it's
right?
happened a few times.
But it's not
again,
the case.
you may notice a little bit of a difference today.
I notice a difference.
I know, this is weird.
What are you doing here?
We have no one to operate any cameras today, so it's just me and Yanick sitting on a couch, and now I realize this
you're
light's
getting a lot
kind
of
of
light
just
and
on
I'm
me.
not.
Maybe it's just because I radiate light, and
And I don't.
the darkness of your soul
Yeah.
just comes across on
So
camera.
light side, dark side. Okay.
I feel awkward about it, but we
can't fix it now. Don't start troubleshooting.
I'm not going to deal with it. Okay, but we have a patch going out today, the biggest part of which is the map.
Yep.
The map fix.
The
So
map
I'm
fix
very happy
and
about that. Although people may disagree, because the biggest part for a lot of people is the G36 base damage reduction of 15%.
Yes.
Again, people, I understand that is it is going to change that up a little bit, but I would urge you to try it out first. Let us know what you think after that. It is relatively small, and if we are being honest, mathematically it probably should have received even more, but 15% is it is there.
It's still a pretty good assault rifle.
Oh, it's really
Definitely. I mean, for assault rifles, it's still,
Yes.
a very good weapon.
It's definitely the best assault rifle.
Yeah.
I think hands down. Yeah, it's very, very solid. I'll still be using mine. Very, very good.
Yeah.
Do those cards even have something written on them? Murphy? Yeah. We've got some things on them. Oh wait, it's like blowing out because of the light.
And by the way, there were some comments
some things
of
written
people
on
saying, what they have on these cards is like all the top-down stuff that they're only allowed to talk about and whatever. No, it's actually just our notes to make sure we don't forget the things we want to mention.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we get
Because
everything that we can talk about to you guys. So you may also notice a little bit of a different tone today on the State of the Game, which is something that we definitely want to do. We've brought the tablet back so we can see what you're writing.
So you guys are technically standing right here now. So
we can see what you're saying, because we want to make sure that the two-way conversation comes more back into the fold. It's we've been using State of the Game as a way to get news out to you guys, which is something we obviously definitely still want to do. But with your help, with your reasonable help, because you guys are always completely reasonable, we will make sure that we continue that conversation, because there's a bunch of really, really good stuff coming from you guys. Before on during the stream I just did before, Tropolite had a really good suggestion that we do kind of a small video about what it takes to get rid of a bug from start to finish. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
So we could work that in.
Yeah, could be
that's
interesting.
something I'd like to work on.
Absolutely.
So today, Yanick, what's happening today in this maintenance?
So we have a maintenance today. So there's something that's very important, because we have technically two maintenances today. There is the division maintenance, which is the same as usual, which is from 9 to 12.
I have to move this light. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. Fix the light.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have the division maintenance that lasts from 9 to 12, which is the same time as usual, which is, 3 to 6 EDT and 12 to 3 BDT, something like that. So this is the same as usual, but on top of that, there is also a maintenance across all Ubisoft services. So all Ubisoft games are actually down for this maintenance. And this one lasts a bit longer. And we made sure that the two maintenances overlap. So there is not, you guys don't actually have too much downtime. But what that means is that the servers are actually going to be down for a little longer than usual. So where we normally would have them down for 3 hours, now they may be down between 3 to 5 hours, depending on how long the Ubisoft services maintenance is going to last. Which means that we may not reopen at 12, so in 15 minutes, as we would usually do. The maintenance may last longer than that. And I say may because we don't know exactly how long it's going to last. It's going to be up to 2 more hours, but it could be shorter than that depending on how fast they are at completing it.
Yeah.
And we have no control over that, since it's something from the whole Ubisoft services.
More F3 says, so a 2-hour State of the Game then?
Maybe.
Well,
if you guys are reasonable in your chat and we can have a conversation, yeah.
we'll let this State of the Game run as long as it's making sense. Which, with us talking about, everything may make sense. Might kind of get into a little bit of a rant, but
it might become awkward.
I have a tendency to get a little bit ranty, and things do get #awkward. But I'm kind of fine with it.
Okay, so Back on topic. So maintenance.
Yes,
so we
Okay.
addressed the duration of the maintenance. This is also why in the game, for example, it says maintenance will last 5 hours because it's up to 5 hours, but on other places it's been announced as 3 hours because yes, it's the 3 hours normal maintenance, but up to 5 because of the Ubisoft thing. Anyway, enough with that. Changelog. So yes, state of reading patch notes, as I've seen somebody say in the chat. So let's do that. Reduce the base damage of the G36. I think we will comment more on that after. But yes, G36 has been nerfed as we announced since we actually released update 1.3. So yeah, 15% of the reduction. Fix the bug. So yeah, we fixed the bug where the name weapons could not be recalibrated. So now they can be recalibrated. We fixed the mega map, which was one of the most annoying issues we had in there.
Yep.
So this is fixed on all platforms. We fixed a bug with the evacuation point, whatever. It's a UI bug. It's minor, but it's still good that it's fixed. Alpha Bridge gloves. So the Alpha Bridge gloves are now, you won't have the issue where you actually had no stats on them or the wrong stats or whatever. Alpha Bridge glove will roll normal stats.
Yep.
And that means that we also, in order to make this change retroactive, we actually reset the stat on all the Alpha Bridge gloves that are out there. So if you had gloves already, don't be surprised when you will log back into the game, the stats will have been reset. So that's something important to know. We fixed some bug with the music, the recalibrating last talent on the PP19. So if you would recalibrate the last talent on the PP19, the one that is supposed to be free, you would end up with actually requirements on it. This is fixed. It's not the case anymore. We fixed a bug with the Sentry's gear where it would apply to the showstopper and it shouldn't, so it won't apply to the showstopper anymore. Some visual effects with signature skills. The weapon stacking with the Alpha Bridge, which was something very important, is fixed. The recalibrating weapon talents, it could happen that when you would recalibrate a weapon talent, you would end up with a talent that was not the one you actually picked. So this is fixed. Now you will always get what you picked, which makes more sense. We fixed a bug in search and destroy and high-value targets, where if you would die during the search and destroy and actually respawn in your safe house, go back there, you would actually die again automatically and be sent back to your safe house until you relog. Fixed. And we fixed the multiple consumables bug with the reclaimer set, where you could just stack all the consumables.
I like that one. I like the fix.
That's done. We made it through the patch notes, guys.
Yeah. Sunny Jim UK said, do these expletives, could be, do these dicks even read the chat maybe? They can see how pissed people are. Yes, we do read the chat. And this is why we want to do this, to be able to see what you guys are saying and that sort of thing. More F3 had a really good point. While I don't like the nerfs, I do appreciate that you mentioned it right from the start. I much prefer that you let us know at the start than wait until the last minute. Yes, this the G36 nerf was coming all along, but a lot of people asked, why did you release the update then? We couldn't really hold the update to fix something that wasn't game breaking.
Or the gun. I mean, some people also asked, why did you not just remove the gun? We couldn't. We just can't always remove a gun from an update. It's not as simple as that. We did it in the past, but because we actually found out about something wrong with the gun early enough that we could actually remove it, that was not the case with this one. Now, the reason why also we're nerfing it, and a lot of people are asking, why are you nerfing the gun and not buffing the other ones, is because we found out directly that it was just like the base damage and everything was just completely off the chart compared to the overall weapon balancing that we put in 1.3. So we wanted to make sure that the G36 would actually be brought back to fitting with everything. We had a complete pass on all the weapons with 1.3, so we can't now just start buffing other things just to match one OP weapon. That's not how it works. But now, of course, that makes it less fun for all the people that were having issues, because yes, we know there is another problem in the game, which is the
tactician stuff, and
the time to kill, basically, with all the heroic mode missions and everything, where the NPCs are just very, very tough, and it takes a lot of time to kill them. And the G36 kind of mitigated that in a way because it was a bit more powerful than the other ones. So yes, that is an issue, but that's not something we will address by just letting you guys play with an OP weapon. That's something we need to address separately from the weapon balancing. Yeah,
it kind of helped with the issue, but it isn't the solution to the issue. There's going to have to be a bigger solution to that. Desert Up was asking, is the Alpha Bridge reset on all the gear? No, it's just on the gloves, right?
Just the gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
So the gloves are basically getting re-rolled for everyone.
But
Is
all
that-
the gloves are being re-rolled.
What else do we have here? What about the map UI vanishing? SP Silent Sniper, that is fixed.
Yeah.
Today.
That is fixed.
So after, when the update, when the servers are back up, you will not have that bug anymore.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, chat is
Oh,
going
Heroic
crazy.
Dragon's Nest.
Oh yeah.
What do we
I
have?
have that in my list here. But yes, Heroic Dragon's Nest is released today.
Oh, really?
So it will be out as soon as the servers are up.
Cool. All right. Kind of scared.
So
Need to do it.
you have to try, yeah. I still haven't completed it in a hard mode, so
You got to the end.
I got to the end and I died.
That's why we need to get you on the stream again, so you
Yes.
can do it again. Will the server lag be fixed?
So we are looking at, there are issues with disconnections. There are issues with delta errors still. We fix some of them. We regularly fix some of them with each update. Oh, your mic died. Okay. I hope mine didn't. Is mine done or is mine working? No, I think they say rip Hamish. So that's fine. I'm still there. So yeah, we worked and we fixed some of the delta issues and disconnections. There might still be some of them. We know that, for example, there is an issue on PS4 with Falcon Lost, where you may be disconnected while doing Falcon
Alright, I
Lost.
should be
These are
back.
things we are looking at. We are looking also at
Let me
the
just check.
freezes on Xbox One that is also experienced as lag. So there are a lot of issues like that we are looking at, but a lot of them are like isolated and different issues. So it's not something we can all fix at once. We are just taking all of them one by one and fixing them.
Exactly. Okay. No, I'm back now. Cool.
Mine is fine. Okay, so it was just really yours apparently.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
Nerf Yanick is too OP.
No, we need buffs.
We're going to buff Hamish instead.
Yeah, we need to buff both of us. Yes, people did see how not good we are at the game yesterday, but that's
Oh yeah.
that's still fun.
True, that was that. Heal lag. I've seen people talking about heal lag. Yeah, that's something we're working on also. We are aware
About
of
what?
that.
Healing lag.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
okay.
heal delay, the healing delay.
Yeah.
This is something we're looking at.
All
You guys
right.
seem depressed. We're not depressed. We're not depressed. I probably look depressed because I still don't get as much light as Hamish does. You see, he still has more light than me.
Yeah. Anyway,
We're not
that's
depressed.
what happens when it's just us running the show. We had a couple of minutes to get the production ready, but this is where we're at. Have we seen SkillUp's Century Smart Cover and Pulse video? We haven't seen the video, but we do know exactly what he's talking about. We've obviously spent some time with SkillUp,
Mhm.
and that's a conversation that we have had. I feel like now there we go. Now it's more balanced. He has some really, really good points.
Yeah. And yeah.
Because we spent some time with him at E3, and this was part of our discussion during that time. So yes, we are aware of it, and it's what we've been. We passed that on to a lot of the developers as soon as we got back.
Yeah.
Where is Gabe? Gabe's over there. Gabe, you should come sit on the couch, man.
No, he doesn't want to.
Fine.
But yeah, there are a few things. I guess we will have questions about that. But there are a few things I wanted to talk about actually, which are some of the most discussed hot topics within the community. I thought this was the opportunity to talk about it because people have been saying that we just spend our time reading patch notes, and we might as well, address.
Oh,
the
we should
actual
have a
community
conversation about it. I think
discussion.
that'd be
So
cool.
I'll do it. G36 Nerf, I think we've talked about it again. Yes, this is a nerf. In a perfect world, we would prefer to buff everything, but it's not always the case. Sometimes we just don't have a choice than just simply nerf something. And that was the case with the G36. But as far as weapon balancing and everything, now the G36 will be more on par with everything else, and now we can look at what's the next step to then tweak all the balancing.
I mean, to be devil's advocate, you have another situation where, like, I had a pretty good ACR before, but then there was no reason to use it anymore because I have a G36. So you have that same kind of issue. And the same thing happens in other weapon families as well, which will need to be addressed. You have, there needs to be a reason to use as many different guns as possible, right? And with the G36 in the assault rifle family, that was a problem that we have right now.
And maybe now people will believe me when I say that LMGs are actually good.
LMGs are cool.
Yep.
They're still not the best gun in the game, but they're
fun.
They are fun and usable. But again, that kind of goes to show that, like, having such an outlier and forcing people down that track. And similarly, we had the same thing with the AUG and in the M1A. And to an extent, kind of similarly within the M1A still. For so like the Covert SRS and these sorts of guns and the police MK17, I think it is. If we're being honest, there really isn't much of a reason to use those right now as opposed to that. So these are the kinds of things we want to talk about going forward, and how to make all of those weapons usable, because there's a lot of they feel so different. It would be a shame. Although I will say this, like the things that have changed in this patch, there have been a bunch of new guns being used. People using the SAS, and the sausage, as it's affectionately named, the M870 shotgun has been been seeing more use. And actually, some people are now running with the AK, the black market AK, which is really cool too. So there is some of that build diversity coming through. Maybe not in the way intended, but it is kind of cool to see a lot of those weapons coming through. And we want to get to the point where we have that across the board. We aren't there yet, but that's the aim.
Yeah, and I see some people are saying like, buff the other weapons and everything. There are ways to change the balancing and also buff weapons that are not directly basic, number tweaking and everything. So that's also things we're looking at. So it's not just about base damage. It's also about how you use the weapon and what other bonuses it can have. So even if we were to buff some of the weapons, it might not be just like changing the damage they do. But there are a lot of things that are being worked on regarding that. So let's move on to some other things. So something that was linked to the G36 discussion a lot was, as we said before, was one of the reasons why people loved the G36 so much and didn't want it to be nerfed was because it was a good alternative because of the time to kill issue right now in heroic mode, and the fact that the NPCs, especially level 35 NPCs, are actually very, very tanky, and it takes a lot of bullets to actually kill them. The G36 did that or helped with that, but this is something that we are fully aware of. We know that the level 35 NPCs are actually very, very tanky, and it's very hard to kill them. It takes too long, to be honest. Yes, the time to kill is too high on this, and this is something we're looking at. And also it leads to the issue that the ammo capacity is not even high enough, which pushes people to use the Lone Star to actually get more ammos. This is all something like we are clearly aware of, and this is definitely not the way we want it to be in the long run. That's definitely something.
I think you bring up a good point. There's kind of like a side effect of that enemy health pool getting so high, especially when you bring into account group size. So, for example, our solo players, the ammo requirements hit them so much harder. So, we're definitely aware of those issues. Someone said, "Speak English." Can you?
No.
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 Please.
I don't do that anymore. No.
All right.
Could do it in French if you want.
All right. Yeah.
Oui. Okay.
Oui. Bob l'éponge.
But yes, the thing is, all these changes, again, it's things that we are aware of, but it's a big balancing pass that is needed again on this as well. So it's not stuff that we can just tweak by just like nerfing the health of the NPCs or whatever. It's a complete pass we need to do. Also to make sure we have a proper system that will allow us to keep adding more and more layers of difficulty in the future without having to just scale these kind of things. So that's something that is being worked on, and we don't have an ETA yet when this will actually be.
I saw someone saying that like it's frustrating when we say that it's being worked on. I get that. I mean, these things do take time, and I think that video about getting that whole process shown to people would be really helpful. But yes, we have to work on things and then get them deployed, and that does take time. But I understand those frustrations. But we got to make things right. So.
Well, if you don't want to hear this is being worked on, you might want to mute this video now because there's more.
We are working on a lot of things.
The loot issue, and especially like the loot waiting or whatever that people have been talking about. We know that a lot of people are frustrated with the fact that some rewards are guaranteed or some gear sets are guaranteed in specific activities and all of that. We know that this is a solution that has generated a lot of discussion. And this is also something we are looking at. Now, does that mean we are going to like remove it or stick to it? Right now, I can't really say anything about that because we are looking at what the options are because we understand that this is frustrating for the players. There are some short-term tweaks that we can do to help a bit with that, but also it will require a longer overhaul on the system, which is also something that we are looking at.
Exactly. I mean, so some of the things that people have talked about.
Putting water everywhere.
Oh man, what are you doing?
That happened.
So obviously we have different things that are tailored towards different gear sets. Because I mean, if you had the antithesis of that system where you had all gear sets available everywhere from doing absolutely everything, then you would have less of a chance to find those from dedicated activities, which is would be another frustration. So I don't think that's the fix. One of the things that people have put forth is like a token system. So those are one of the things that we could, put on the table. But this is why having a conversation is important. I think it's really important to get good ideas from you guys. I think a token system is a really, really good suggestion. So whoever started that conversation, fantastic. But having everything drop from everywhere, I don't think is maybe the right way to go.
Yeah.
But again, we're looking at it.
Somebody said
we need to.
TLDR, they're looking at it, Kappa. But isn't it better if we come here and tell you we're aware of all the things you guys are talking about and we are actually looking at it rather than just not comment on it? I think, better that way.
Exactly. I agree.
Next one, toughness. Toughness in PvP. So, yes. We're aware of it. We're looking at it.
Yeah.
But yes, we know that right now PvP is just not so much fun, especially, I mean, you've seen it when even when we live stream, it happens that we bump into other groups. I mean, you had it. And
and you run around and
then you spend 10 minutes shooting at each other and nobody dies and like the chat goes crazy and it's like, you see, PvP doesn't work. And
we know. We're definitely playing the same game as you guys.
Yeah.
It's something that we feel as well. It doesn't feel right, and that's a kind of a soft value. But no, we understand the frustration with it. It's there are things that we can do on our side, and we got to test some of those things before we get them out to you, because we don't also want a situation where we change things and then it's like, well, this is just completely different and not good. But we have some things we can do. So I'm excited and hopeful about getting those things looked at, because then I think the Dark Zone's going to have some definite advances in a good way in terms of PvP.
And it's the same as the loot thing, and actually a lot of the issues that you guys are talking about. There are also like short-term changes that we can do to try to, like tweak things a bit to make it a bit better, but it's not going to be a complete solution. And then work on longer-term, changes to actually make it really better and have a proper system for the future. So expect these kind of changes. Expect short-term solutions that are not going to change the overall issue, but at least going to improve it a bit. And then wait for the longer term plan that's going to happen. Somebody said, or somebody was asking about solo players. That's also something that we are fully aware of.
In PvP or PvE? Well, I mean both.
In both.
Yeah.
But the fact that the game is very punishing for solo players. Underground is supposed to be scalable and is supposed to help with solo play, but the difficulty gap between hard and challenging is very, very tough.
Yeah.
So it's really not easy for solo players. So this is also something that we are looking at. Because yes, as much as we like it when you guys actually matchmake and make friends and play with other people, we also need to make sure that people who want to play solo can, and that it is also rewarding for them without, of course, making it better to play solo rather than in group. So it's all about finding the right balance there.
Yeah, someone else brought up the blueprints, 229 and 268 blueprints. Hamish, please answer this question. Right now, the only 268 blueprints that I know of are for the new sets. I think you can get, I think it's the knee pads. Anyway, you can get the ones in the terminal. But I think what people are really talking about are the 229 blueprints. They don't exist.
Yeah.
Again, that's the case. Why are they ignoring 229 blueprints comments? We are not. Again, that is the way it is right now. We need to find out, what the intention is exactly with that. But right now, there are no 229 blueprints.
You mean matchmake and swear each other and then leave and ungroup and stuff? I guess that happens too. That's probably part of the fun of matchmaking. I do matchmake quite a bit in a game, and actually I never really had issues. I know that there are some issues where people are being kicked out of the group because of their gear score or these kind of things. And yeah, that's definitely not something fun. Luckily, it never really happened to me yet, but also because I don't really partake in the very high-end thing.
Sure. But then again, a lot of the conversation centers around, and it should, the very, very top end of the population. But there are people like ourselves who aren't quite at that point. Well, now this is going quickly. The striker weapon swapping. You know how it drops your striker stacks?
Yeah.
Where are we at with that?
It's a bug. It's a bug that we
Okay.
need to fix. It's not fixed today.
Okay.
I don't know how long it's going to take to fix, but it's definitely a bug that we will fix. It's not.
Yes.
It's not an intended change.
All right, sorry, I missed a couple of ones here. Let's.
The chat is going crazy.
Chat's
now.
going real quick.
One last thing I wanted to talk about from the many things that you guys have been talking about, and I'm sorry if I missed some of the topics. It's not that we're ignoring them. It's just that I just quickly wrote down the ones I wanted to mention. Underground not rewarding enough. Yes.
So this one.
Guess what? We're looking at it.
Yes. Hamish, can or will you guys make the DZ bracket be based off of players' rank? Reason why I say this is because I am level 35 and I get destroyed by level 99s. The thing is, but that's not something right now, but that Dark Zone rank isn't really indicative of your skill or that sort of thing. I mean, there might be a correlation between skill and rank because people have spent more time in there, but conversely, you could be level 1 and be the best player in the Dark Zone. So if there were to be a system for DZ bracketing that doesn't take into account gear score but takes into account something for player skill, I don't imagine it would be based on Dark Zone rank. You'd need to look at some other statistics.
Yep.
Kill death ratio, something, I don't know. But not Dark Zone rank, I don't think. That would not make sense. The blind rifle is another thing that is coming. What is he drunk?
What is he drunk? Who's drunk?
Maybe. You will never know.
No, we're drinking water. We're drinking water. Okay.
That's true. Okay, going very quickly. But the blind rifle is something that we don't have an ETA on. But as soon as we do, I'd love to show you guys how that works because it's very, very cool. It's one of my favorite guns. Some people were saying the server's back up.
Load your game to start patching. Yeah, at least that's for sure.
Yeah.
If you haven't done that yet, start your game. Make sure to download the patch now.
Exactly. Gabe, do we have any news on the servers? Or we've not been told anything, so we do not know.
Somebody was saying if drunk, that would explain the nerfs.
We don't get to do that.
Nerfs are real constant decisions that we do, and they are not easy decisions. I can tell you because we know that you guys don't like that. Nobody likes nerfs.
And even if we were insanely drunk, it wouldn't change anything. Probably.
We might start.
Maybe we might throw up on stream.
Let's not go there.
No cosmetic items been dropping for 5 weeks. I think what happens is once you've gotten all of the cosmetic items, you won't get any more. Is that?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah, so civilians will give you greys,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I definitely get less cosmetic items now because I have so many.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happens. Tacticians are destroying the game experience. We're totally aware of the tactician thing, and some of the things we're working on our side are to combat that. They aren't being deployed in this patch, but I think people can expect that being addressed hopefully very soon. Weekly HVT need a little more time now. No, there must be like 60-something hours left on HVTs for the week.
Or maybe you mean they need more time to complete. I mean the high-risk targets were made a bit harder because now they give you better rewards.
Yeah, you kind of have to. You can't mess around.
So these would be a bit probably take a bit longer to complete.
Stop being aware and fix it. It's not about just awareness, but we actually have to test things. If we don't test things and we just say hypothetically we had a situation where we're like, okay, we're going to deal with tacticians, nerf it by this. We can't. We have to test things, because if we don't test things, we could make the situation worse.
It's not just like fixing. I mean, it starts by being aware of an issue, and then we can fix it.
Do you accept the challenge on Reddit? What challenge? I missed the challenge.
It was a challenge asking us to make guide videos on how to complete the different incursions with all the gear sets and everything, to show that all the gear sets are viable options for endgame and everything.
Okay.
I've seen the thread.
I see what people are getting at.
And yeah, of course, yes, yes, there are gear sets that are definitely probably better than others in the endgame meta. Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely aware of that.
We know that.
That's
so if the idea of the challenge is just to prove us that
that seems like a witch hunty kind of challenge.
Not all gear sets are viable in endgame. Yeah, we know that.
We know.
So we don't need that. But the idea of making guide videos for incursions and everything is actually a pretty good.
That is a good idea.
So,
but we agree with you on that. More use for DZ funds. Agreed. Right now, without the max level gear score crafting blueprints, there isn't much of a use, apart from those scopes that showed up the other day, which were really, really good.
There was something about bromance and us kissing already, but no, that's not going to happen on screen.
Not on screen. Off screen, not a problem. Just we don't want to, make you guys feel awkward.
Shotgun nerfs? What?
Shotgun nerfs? No.
Was it a request or was it a statement?
No, the shotgun is. I think the shotgun's in a pretty good spot right now, actually.
Yeah, we actually buffed them with this update, so. I mean, with the update 1.3, not today's update. Somebody is asking about season pass events. I know this is a big discussion, and we will be talking about it very soon, guys. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Loadouts. So that's a good thing to talk about, actually. Apple G. John, that's one of the things that I think is a really, really good request from the community, is having a way to save loadouts and being able to switch them. Obviously, out of combat. If you switch them in combat, you're going to have all sorts of weird metagame shifts that aren't fun. But yeah, I'm totally behind that idea. I think that's fantastic.
So apparently it was NPC shotgun nerf.
Oh,
that's another.
NPC shotguns nerfs.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a masochist. I like it. I think it's good. Although, again, that's one of the issues for solo players.
Yeah, and also
when you don't have anyone to revive you, it's kind of...
It's again the issue with level 35 NPCs, because it takes so long to kill them, but yes, it's not easy to actually kill the shotguns before they reach you. So that's part of the same issue.
Maybe make a 229 blueprint with limited uses. I don't...
PS4 audio crashes a lot. Yes, we're looking into this one.
Yes. Performance mod only slot? How would that work? If you had a slot for only performance mods, like an extra slot, maybe.
Could be fun.
That could be fun.
Would give you more opportunity to actually set your items or change your items.
I mean,
why are you looking at us?
I was just seeing what Gabe thought about it.
Because we keep looking at you, hoping that you're going to tell us, "Hey, servers are up," but no. So it's probably going to take a while.
It's going to take a little while. We'll hang out for a little bit longer, but we've passed on about as much as we can for today. When are we going to expand the DZ? That's not something we're talking about yet. The other thing people are obviously asking a lot is when survival coming out, when are you guys talking more about survival? When we can talk more about survival, we'll definitely do that here. It's something that I'm really excited to talk about, but that's not a today discussion.
There was somebody spamming scavenging in caps. Yes, we know that scavenging is not very useful for the end.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit before on the stream. The thing is, scavenging works, but it doesn't work well for in-game players. It's since the game has shifted since we released it in terms of how the loot works. We now have a lot of guaranteed high-end drops, and that sort of thing. Scavenging loses its effectiveness in lieu of, in light of how the loot system now works. We've said before that we think that the system needs a rework to take into account other things as well. Some of the things that the community have said I think are really cool is like having higher chances of consumables or ammo dropping and that sort of thing, since ammo is becoming a problem. So there are other interesting things that I think can be done with scavenging, but right now, while it works, it isn't useful for in-game players. So if you guys have suggestions about that, let us know. The feedback and suggestions part of the forum is great, and we'll talk about it here. So yeah.
Somebody was
about
asking me about Portugal in the chat, so that's why I laughed. But
oh, okay.
I shouldn't. There was sorry, I didn't catch your name, but somebody was asking what's the time frame for the fixes that we're talking about? Is it week, months, whatever? Yeah. So as I said, for some of these things,
some of the things could be Thursday. Some of them.
Yeah. Some of these things, like as we said, there are short-term changes that we can do. So things that we can do during the weekly maintenances, for example, tweaking, balancing values here and there. These are things that we can do, and these are things that we will do. But for like the big full scope rebalancing changes, it's more stuff that we will do in the proper title updates, so 1.4, which we haven't released or announced the release date for yet.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to stop the chat. Hamish, for players of multiple toons, and there are people who do that, what are the chances we can get unified credits across all characters? DZ credits, DZ rank, crafting materials, patterns, etc. I don't know. I can't speak to what the chances are of that sort of thing. I think that would be great, but we don't have that yet. There are, like we've said before, there are a bunch of quality of life things that are on the list. Things like weapon mods. Not weapon mods. Weapon skins taking up inventory space is an issue. There are a lot of those things that we would like to get fixed.
Yeah.
As to when they are coming or not, there have been more pressing issues. But we will. The team are working on getting as much of those in as possible. But again, if people are locked out by things like the map bug and that sort of thing, we have to get those done first. But I will say, I'm not saying that we can all work on one singular bug. People were calling me out before saying, why don't you guys, instead of fixing the moon or the donuts, why don't you fix actual bugs? That's not exactly how it works either.
No.
But when we do have the ability to relocate people to certain things, we will prioritize.
Yeah. There was somebody asking about the X45 nerf. So I'm not sure if you talk about like nerfing the gun itself, which no, we're not planning on doing, or nerfing like the fact that you get a lot of it in the underground. And I don't know if we talk about nerf, but yeah, that's part of what we talked about, the fact that the underground doesn't feel rewarding enough, and it's a bit too weighted towards specific rewards. So this is part of the weighting that we want to look at.
Yep, agreed.
What about the FPS drops? Yes, we have people looking at that.
The X45 underbarrel. I mean, that's all pistols actually, super starts.
Yeah.
There are no high-end underbarrels that fit on those sidearms, so I would love to see some of those added. We don't have them yet, but if those are in the pipeline, we'll let you know, because that would be cool. What else have we got?
Somebody was asking, why are there so many jobs available on this game at Massive? Because we actually still have big plans for the game and high ambitions. So
yeah,
we are not giving up on the game.
It's not because Yanick quit.
Anytime soon.
No.
And it's not also not to replace people that are quitting. It's actually just we're growing.
Yes. What were people talking about? Armor damage for PvP. Yeah, we so that was something we talked about when the inherent stats for assault rifles were added. Actually, and on LMGs and shotguns and that sort of thing. We do want to have meaningful additions for the ARs and the shotguns in PvP, because you don't actually have those right now. Stagger won't work in PvP, and also the armor damage on assault rifles. But we do want to do that. So we'll definitely work on that as well.
Zombies in game, no.
Zombies? No, we've always said no zombies.
No.
Stop it. Yes, that's not going to happen.
Somebody was asking a while ago, actually. Somebody was asking, I feel like there's no light on my face anymore.
The sun.
Yeah, it's as soon as the sun is gone. Anyway, any further nerf on the Sentry gear set? Not that I know of.
Nope.
I don't think we plan on nerfing it even more.
Nope. I mean, it's maybe not the most elegant place that it's in right now, but it's working. That's the thing. You can still use it as a 4-piece and then with a 2-piece. I know a bunch of people were running 2-piece Final Measure and 4-piece Sentry. Because if we're being honest, the power of Sentry comes from the 4-piece bonus. What did you get there?
Back is saying they nerfed the light. Typical.
Yeah, no, we nerfed the light.
It's back.
It's back. It's coming
See?
back.
It's back.
Damn it, son.
We rebalanced it.
Yes. Total ownage. It's a good point. Oh no, it's gone.
No, you broke it.
I broke chat.
You broke chat. You really broke
I actually did break chat. It's gone now. Oh no, I think chat broke chat. It got too big. But anyway, I remember what you kind of said. It's all right. You were asking if there are going to be any more skills added in the future, drones or various tech things and that sort of thing. I think that would be really cool. People who have followed our game for a while will remember some skills that aren't in the game. There was one called the Firefly, which was like a little drone. I think that's what people were talking about. It was cool. So there's always options with a game like this when we're trying to grow it and continue to support it. It's a possibility. That's my point.
Somebody was asking Buff Terra and Nerf Protoss. Sorry, you're on the wrong stream, I think.
Buff Terran. No, man. Widow Mines. Nerf. Are you... Yeah, so yeah. The drones, the actual drone app, that won't be coming back. That broke the game pretty hard. If you guys were worried about things being frustrating, I think you would have a whole new level of frustration if you were in the dark zone and the other team had drones too.
Sorry, there was a very important question actually. Somebody was asking any news about people who actually have the gold edition but can't access the season pass content.
No.
That's not normal. You should contact our support team
Yeah.
because they can activate it manually. I know that there have been cases of people that for some reason were unable to access the content of the DLC. So make sure to contact our support team and they can look into it on a one-by-one cases and activate it if needed.
Yep. Yeah. Support.ub.com
Yes.
for that one. All right. We'll take a few more of these before we head off, but
Dark Zone stash bug shows the wrong amount of items. Yes, because the sealed cache don't show up in there.
yeah,
Is it
that's
because of that? For some reason, it's also
there's something that's on the fixed list.
issue.
The sound bug on PS4.
Yeah.
That one. Where's that one at?
It's being looked at.
Okay.
As well. Yeah. I don't know where it's at exactly, but it's definitely being investigated.
Someone was asking if we could get the little RC cars like the cleaners have. That'd be fun
That'd be fun.
if you could use that as a skill.
Depending if you could drive it.
Yeah. That would be really cool, actually.
Yeah.
I agree. And it might be a dark zone frustration, but I don't know. Maybe there's something cool there.
It's like the ones in Rainbow. You have
Yeah.
roads you can use too.
The 182 gear score Midas drop in the DZ6. It sorry, the person who talked about fellatio kind of distracted me. He can probably get banned.
Don't make promise you can't keep.
Yeah, exactly. No, I've lost it. All right, sorry. Oh no, the Midas. Yes, that does drop. You probably don't need it, and it will not drop at a higher gear score. So named weapons don't scale. Let us fly a helicopter.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. That'd be cool. All right. Well,
Where do you think the G36 will be in order now? Still first?
Yeah.
For assault rifles, probably.
Yeah.
As far as all weapons, I don't know. We'll see what you guys come up with in terms of meta. But it's still going to be a very good weapon.
Yes.
And it also depends PvE or PvP.
Thoughts on a PTR type thing? I think that'd be great. Would love that. What else have we got? Will there be a 229 MP7? I think there is.
Nerf MP7. You see, if you start asking us for nerfs.
You want it, then you ask for nerfs.
Do you really want us to do it, or?
Yeah. What else do we
Buy
have here?
curtains now.
Buy curtains?
Is it annoying, actually, the change of light?
Probably.
Anyway.
I've ordered some more light bulbs, but they're currently not here, so we have to rely on the power of the sun, which is not a constant, unfortunately.
Nerf light bulbs.
No light bulbs. Someone said no. I can't remember what that was. Phoenix points uncapped. I don't think that'll happen either.
No.
What else do we have? Reports of shotgun stagger not working against some NPCs. We have seen that too.
Yeah.
Okay. Remove cutscene
we
in
have
the
seen
underground
it, but
missions?
yeah,
Okay.
we were unable to really identify a proper issue there. So if you guys are experiencing that, if you have videos or whatever or anything that would help us trying to tackle what actually is causing that.
Yep. All right. We have answered pretty much everything that's coming over time again and again. Do you even play your game before releasing patches and content? Yes, we do.
Before and after.
What did Streamer House say? Please add a pony so I can pet it and feed it and love it every day. Thanks. Streamer House. Sure. Yannick will code it this afternoon.
I do it.
You know how to do that, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I release it
Fantastic.
and then I nerf it.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out today. We don't have a report of the servers being up just yet. You would probably want to stick by our Twitter to see when that comes. We'll make sure that we are on that. So that'll be at the Division game. I'm wondering if we should take a break. I was going to do a social eating stream while we waited, but we won't do that. But I'll eat my
social eating.
Yeah, you don't know this whole social eating thing on Twitch?
No, I don't know that.
Apparently the thing is, if you're eating on Twitch, you should be in the social eating directory. There's a new directory for that. We'll do that another day. We'll have like a party where we just eat and everyone can eat. How does Yannick get his hair so good?
I don't
Takes
know.
hours.
I guess I have a good wax.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know. I could give you some tips, but not.
Yeah, not today.
now.
Next state of the game. But that's it for today. I enjoyed this. This was cool. We'll do more state of the games like this where we can actually see what you guys are talking about and all those sorts of things, because we want to not just be able to tell you what's happening.
And then Slide Wolf had to ruin it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What happened?
He said something not nice.
Oh. Hamish, do a drunk stream? I don't drink. Well, I could do a stream where I get Yannick really drunk, though. I'm sure Ubisoft would love that.
That happens sometimes.
That'd be cool. Okay, we're done here today.
Okay, yeah.
But we do go follow us on Twitter, which is at The Division Game. We will make sure that the news is there. I now realize that without a camera operator, this is going to be a very, very awkward stream to end.
Do you want to do the end and I walk there and I stop it?
Yeah, or we could just have Gabe run in front of the camera.
I could try to, like
or maybe Yannick can do it.
Discreetly, like catch their attention. I'm going
to
discreetly.
All right, I got it, man. All right, you. Thank you, everyone.
This is not awkward.
No,
not
it's fine. It's fine. This is what happens when it's just us.
And tell us if you like what you've seen, by the way, guys.
Yes, it's fun. All right, put it on the whole ending thing. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon, okay? Bye. Yeah, you did it. Our microphones are still on.
Yes,
but
they are on. But
it's fine.
That's fine. People can't hear us, right?
No, we could talk about that thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I don't know how to turn off the microphone.
I can do it for you.
Live stream.
Don't worry about it, man.
Okay.
Look at this. They can't hear us anymore. It's